Hi economists, in this short video I want to take you through one of the foundational diagrams in economics, probably the first one that you actually learn, and it is the foundations of economics. It's the production possibility curve. So before we do that, I'll just quickly go over some of the key concepts and definitions that are shown in the production possibility curve. It's also sometimes called the production possibility frontier or the PPF. Don't be confused, those are exactly the same things. So this diagram relates to IB concepts such as scarcity, efficiency, choice, and opportunity costs. So we know that in economics we have unlimited wants and scarce resources. So therefore we must be efficient in how we use those resources. We're always making choices as economists because we can't do everything we want to do. And when we make a choice, we face an opportunity cost. So the next best alternative or the next best thing that we have to give up. Okay, and you might remember from your class 4 factors of production. So land is anything natural, labour is like me as a teacher, I'm labour. Capital is physical capital, which includes machinery, tools, buildings and roads and lots of other things. And entrepreneurship. So, think of Jeff Bezos, some of the key entrepreneurs of history, Bill Gates. So it consists of special human skills that can organise the 3 other factors of production while they take on risks of success or failure. And when we're looking at the PPC or the PPF, we're looking at productive efficiency. So all points on a PPC are productively efficient, but not all points are allocatively efficient because allocative efficiency relates to satisfying the society's needs and wants. Okay, so some of my students get a bit confused between constant opportunity cost and increasing opportunity cost. So constant opportunity cost is when the 4 factors of production are easily adaptable to the production of either celery or cauliflower. I use this example because I remember my father grew up on a market garden and we would go and visit my uncles and collect bunches of celery or cauliflower. So they would adapt their resources, land, labour, capital and entrepreneurship, to the production of either of these goods. So to show constant opportunity cost, it's always a straight line. And you can see in this diagram that I've given you here, producing 10 more cauliflower costs 10 celery. So if you're going from 20 to 30 cauliflower, you are going from 30 to 20 celery. So you're giving up 10 celery that's your opportunity cost. It's constant, it's always the same. But then we've got increasing opportunity costs. So what if our economy, we've called the economy of McCannania, what if we were producing computers or cauliflowers? So remember all of these points on your PPC are productively efficient, but you might consider one of the points in the middle to be more allocative efficient. So B or C are satisfying more of society's wants because we'd make that assumption that society would want a mix of computers and cauliflowers. But if we were up here, we would be productively efficient. We'd be producing computers, but we're not satisfying everyone in society's wants if we're producing only computers or only cauliflowers. That's some of the assumptions we make. So the law of increasing opportunity costs, as you produce more of any good, the opportunity cost increases. And why? Because resources, the 4 factors of production, are not easily adaptable to producing both goods. So the resources, the factors of production that we use to produce computers, are not as easily adaptable to producing cauliflowers. So there's an increasing opportunity cost. So here, if you go from A to B, so A, you say producing 45 computers and 40 cauliflowers. And if you move to B, you're producing 40 computers and 60 cauliflowers. So to gain 20 more cauliflowers, the economy of McCannania has given up 5 computers. And then if we move from B, where we're producing 40 computers and 60 cauliflowers, to C, where we're producing 30 computers and 80 cauliflowers, this shows that to gain 20 more cauliflowers here, the economy of Mechaniania has given up 10 computers. So the opportunity cost is increasing, and that relates to the shape of the curve once again. So because it's a concave curve, we know that opportunity cost will be increasing. Lastly, last concept. So as I said, this doesn't cover everything about a PPC. It's just a recap on some of the key concepts and things you need to know about the PPC. Can the curve shift? Well, the answer is yes. The curve can shift either inwards or outwards. So these are the things which cause a shift, a change in the quality of resources, so one or more of the factors of production. So for example, if more people in Mechaniania, this economy, can access education, then that could shift the curve outwards. Okay, because we've improved the factor of labour. And then quantity of resources is another factor that's going to cause a shift inwards or outwards, and the quality, the quantity. So if Mechaniania, this economy, increases the number of overseas workers in the country, then that's going to give also more labour and shift the curve out. Or technology, improved technology is going to shift the curve in or outwards. So for example, we get a shift inwards if, say, there were floods and large productive areas like agricultural areas were flooded, then that is going to affect both the quality and quantity of resources, but in a negative, the opposite way. So therefore, you would get a shift of the curve inwards. So just think about what you're given in a test or in an assignment. And then what happens when the economy of Mechaniania is operating at a point inside the curve? So if it was operating at B, you would have unemployment of resources. So one or more of the 4 factors of production, there would be some unemployment of resources. Because remember, productive efficiency at every point means that we are using all of our resources to their maximum capacity. So if there's unemployment, you'd be at a point inside the curve. And a point outside the curve is not possible with the current amount of resources. So it's unattainable or impossible with current resources. So that's some answer to that question. Okay, and then I've just put on the end a couple of examples of past IB exam questions. So one from November 23, so paper 2, November 23, and paper 2, October 22. So you might get a question like this in an exam using a production possibilities curve. Explain how the discovery of oil affected production possibilities in Senegal, and you're given obviously a list of different data, different texts and data, so you'd refer to that. Or using a PPC diagram, explain the impact of the damage to the major buildings in Beirut on Lebanon's productive capacity. So these are types of exam questions you might see. Okay, good luck.